Hello guys, welcome to another video here on SMB penetration testing. This is more like part 2 of the first video I made on SMB penetration testing, and this is basically using Metasploitable 2. Basically starting up, I just want to confirm the IP address of my Metasploitable 2, and I'm just going to log in with the login details, which is msfadmin as the username and password as msfadmin, and hit enter. I'm in and just type ifconfig, enter, and we got the IP address 192.168.32.132. With that being said, we can now continue. So basically we're going to look at trying to enumerate for SMB protocol in a machine. We're going to be using, first I'm going to try to use what we call Crackmapexec, and also we're going to try to enumerate using Nmap script. There are so many different ways to enumerate. The basic way to enumerate is of course Nmap, and like we saw in the last video, you can use Nmap -p 139.144.5, and if you hit enter, it's going to give us enumerate for the open ports for SMB on port 139 and port 445. Alright, here we have the result. So this is more like the basic way to enumerate for SMB, of course, and we can find out that we have a couple of open ports here for 139, and we can even see the version. Now let's say we want to use script specifically. Okay, so if we want to enumerate for that, let's open a new tab. First we need to cd into user and share, and we want to look at Nmap. Okay, under Nmap we want to look at scripts. Hit enter. Okay, now we want to ls. If you ls, there's lots of scripts right now, but we want to ls and want to group anything that has SMB. Okay, we hit enter, and as you can see, we have a couple of results here, SMB brute.nse, and so on. So maybe we can try using SMB-OS discovery if we want to find out the OS of the system in question. We also have a couple of vulnerability that script that is available here to try. So for this video, I'll just go ahead now and just enumerate using SMB-OS discovery. And to do that, all I need to do is to come over here now and just type in Nmap. Alright, dash script. Okay, so here we go. nscript dash script SMB-OS discovery, and then we're gonna have that on port 445. We can use port 139 as well. So if we hit enter, and you see it gives us a result here with the SMB SAMBA. OS is Unix, SAMBA, and the number there. We can also try this with port 139 and see what it gives us. 139, and let's see, similar. Okay, so similar to 445, we also got that open as well with the information. So these are a couple of ways to enumerate for SMB. We can try to enumerate something else here and see what happens. Let's enumerate for let's enumerate for users, SMB-enum users. So I'll copy this. Okay, and then let's try to change that with the dash script equals to, in this case now we're going to be using this, right? So we're going to be using SMB-enum users, and let's try that on port 139 and see what happens. Okay, as you can see, we got a result. Let's scroll up here. Okay, full name root. As you can see, we have users here. It's enumerating for users. This is also a good way. Let me see, nobody MSQ. Okay, if you scroll up to the top here, we'll be able to see there's a full name here called my MSF admin, If you recall, when I was logging into Metasploitable here, I used msfadmin as the username and password, and as you can see here, the enumeration was able to pull up that name. So basically, yeah, this is how we can use scripts, Nmap scripts, to enumerate for SMBs protocol. For now, so basically try out to enumerate OS. There are some other ones that are applicable if you want to check out for the shares that are in that particular, or the sessions that are in particular in that protocol or network. You'll be able to enumerate that. Okay, so that being said, another way to enumerate SMBs using Crackmap, like I mentioned earlier. We can just use Crackmap exe, and then we'll specify the protocol here, which is SMB, and then the IP address 192.168.32.132, and no, not that, we'll have to specify the subnet to check out for the whole subnet. So we have to 0/24. I believe that's the one it has, so including the subnet. So we're going to hit enter, and then let's see what happens. Okay, we're getting a result. We got a result. Say SMB here on 445 Metasploitable. Unix, the name is Metasploitable, domain is local domain, sign in, and so on. So you see, we're able to enumerate that there's an SMB present in this particular system, and it's on port 445. So this is basically how we can enumerate using Crackmapexec. Now going forward, we're going to be able to also check out how we can access or log in into SMB using Anonymous. Okay, and some of the time, once you're able to find out that there's an SMB running in a system, the next thing is to be able to maybe try to log in using Anonymous as the password. So without further ado, let's try that. So the first thing we're going to use is to log in using what we call SMB client. So it's called SMB client, and to log in we just use SMB client. We're going to specify dash, let me put this off, SMB client. We're going to specify -L to login, dash capital letter L, then //192.168.32.132. okay, so this is how we can log in into SMB using SMB client. And then if we hit enter, it's asking for password, and we're going to use our password as Anonymous, and then hit enter, and there we go. We logged in and we had informations there. So Anonymous login was successful, and we're able to see some share names and opt and IPC admin and so on and so forth. Okay, basically this is one way to log in using Anonymous using SMB client. Another thing we can do is to check for permissions using smbmap. So we can check for some permissions, or basically the permissions of the users in that particular network. So we can do this using smbmap -h. okay, smbmap -h, and then the IP address, and then if we hit enter, we'll be able to get a result. Let's see. Okay, so over here we're able to see some status and permissions for some of the shares and services running in that SMB network. And we see that print, there's no access, but we have an access in temp where we can read and we can write. Okay, with this we can now go back just the way we logged in here using SMB clients -L //192.168.32.132. we can do the same thing again, but at this case we're going to add the directory. We're going to add the directory that is, allowed, which is /temp. So we can do that. Let me open a new tab for that. So we can just use SMB clients, and then that's what you saw here. But in this case, I'm just going to come over here and add -L, please, -L, and then 192.168.32.132 /temp, and it's a password for work group. I'm going to still use anonymous. Hit enter. Okay, sorry, that was just low. To log in, actually we need to use we need to take out -l. We just use SMB clients because there's no permission here. So let me see here, hit enter. Okay, let me try again, anonymous, and see, and voila, it says we are logged in. And at this point now we see we can actually see, let me see if ls works. If we ls, and we're able to see some files there, we can download, we can put in things here actually. So if I open here, let's say touch, let me see, touch 2.txt. I created the file here. Oh my god, there's a lot here. Okay, this is under script. Let's go back here. I just created 2.txt. let's just say put still under this directory 2.txt. if I hit enter, it's putting that file over there, so we can actually upload malicious files or take advantage of the system. If we put ls now, we're able to see 2.txt. we can also download or you can type help and be able to see the commands you can use. You'll be able to see some commands that you can be able to use. You can delete, you can get, for instance, I want to get this 500 or JSP whatever. I can just come here and put get and then type in 5400.jsvc and hit enter. Okay, status denied, opening remote file, blah blah blah. Okay, for instance, let's say this file that I put in here, I'm able to download it. I can just use get 2.txt, hit enter, and it's getting that file. If I ls in this particular the location where it was saved, I'll be able to see that particular. Okay, so let's say ls and grep wildcard, anything that has txt, hit enter. You can see 2.txt there. Okay, let's see. So basically that's how we can utilize anonymous login, and also how to use the SMB map to actually check for permissions. Alright, let's go over to a new tab here. Just like you noticed over here where we used Nmap script to enumerate for users, right? There's another way to actually enumerate for users, and that's by using an RPC client. Okay, it's another way to be able to enumerate. Let me just cd into the main area, pwd, I'm at root. Okay, in this place now we're going to use what we call RPC client. We'll be able to use it to enumerate for users. So I'm going to type, I think I already did this, RPC client, okay, dash capital letter U. I'm going to put space dash n, and then we'll have 192.168.32.132. You're wondering what this means. So RPC client is dash U is for username to spell the user. So you have quotes here, we leave it empty, so that's why we're actually enumerating. Then dash n, we don't need any password. Dash n means to script the password string, and then the IP address. So hit enter. What we need to do now is what we call server info, srv info. Hit enter. You see, it can be able to give us information about the server. So RPC client is a very good tool to be able to enumerate. So we have server info. Next thing we want to do is to enum DOM users and hit enter. Okay, from this now we're able to see users in this system. You can copy this and be able to list it, or we can just create. Let me open a new tab here, and nano users for meta.txt. hit enter. So the first option here is we have bind proxy. We can call this user www data root user www data user www I think data root. Okay, let's see what else. Postgres, no, bean, mail, prof pd, demon, sshd, man. Okay, I might add that man, lp, msf admin, and man. You can just put that, and that will be, or nobody as well. Okay, so man, nobody, msf admin. Okay, so we can save this to lx. Okay, so we have that available here, users for meta.txt. okay, so this is also like I mentioned, this is a way to actually enumerate for users in the system as well. Okay, you also enumerate for users info. Oh, I think we also have some other ones. I think there's service, there's FTP, and then Stormcat 55. I'll just add that as well, and before we continue. So nano user. Okay, I'm going to add service and Tomcat 55, and what else? FTP. I'll just add that. Okay, FTP. Okay, Control O, you'll enter, Control X. So now that we have that users, we can use that later once we're going to look at brute force. Quickly, finally, to round up enumeration for SMB, we can also use, there's an automated way to enumerate everything for SMB, and that is what we call enum for Linux. Enum for Linux. Yeah, enum for Linux. Type enum for Linux, and then you say 192, the IP address 192.168.32.132, and we hit enter. You see, it will start enumerating everything from server name to server info for everything we just did, basically using Nmap, Crackmapexec, I think SMB client as well, SMB client, SMB map. Everything we did here, enum for Linux would actually just automatically do it. You're going to get a lot of information from there, so you have to go through them and so on. For here, it's enumerating users. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, so basically, you see those temp. We could go for print, go for opt, just like we did when we went in for temp here. I think this was it. Yeah, here. Yeah, right. Yes. SMB client / temp. You can also see those information popping up here. It means you can also access this. Here will be denied for admin. Here, no, nothing is applied. Here will be denied. Here will be denied. Here is okay. Okay, so basically that's it. You're going to get more information using this, but it's going to be a lot of data. Look at the user enumerations here. So we have users here again as well. Okay, same thing like we just did using same thing like we did just using rpcclient as well. So so if you want, you can always just maybe start off with this and you know, get everything running, or if you have specific things in mind, you can always just go. So here I think I found the more important things: known usernames, administrator, guest, krb, tgt, domain admins, root, bin, and none. This can also be used as well. Alright, that's that for enumeration. Next, we're going to quickly look at brute force, SMB brute force. Okay, SMB brute force. I'm going to open up a new tab here for SMB brute force. So we're going to use the same this particular file that we have. For starters, we're going to brute force SMB using hydra. Okay, using hydra. And how we do that is we start off by typing hydra -l for user list, and we're going to use our user list as well as okay, -p for password list. Now I'm going to use the same list because if you figured when I was logging in with Metasploitable 2 here, I was able to log in with the same username. The username was the same as the password, so I can use that just for this practice purpose. Sorry. Okay, so I'll use this. So and the next thing is the IP address 192.168.32.132. This is for SMB, so you just put in SMB. Okay, you just put in SMB, and then we hit enter and wait for it to brute force. And as you can see, we're already getting some replies. It means we got successful to match. It means we can log in with user and also log in as MSF admin and MSF admin. So this is one way of using Hydra to brute force SMB. Okay, it's the same way with brute force for FTP and probably SSH, you know. Same way. You can just, if you take out FTP here right now and search, it will do the same brute force kind of thing. So it's the same way you brute force for SMB. So that being said, next we're going to look at brute forcing using Crackmapexec. So we're going to use Crackmapexec. I already have that here, so I'm going to use let me just type it out. When I'm done, continue on success. Is that correct? On success. Okay, there's a space here, dash and dash. Okay, dash u, we are using the password list, so I'm just going to change this to user. User for, okay, for meta. Let me put this here so this can complete easily. Sorry, user, okay, user for meta.txt. Same thing for password here. I'm just going to take this out and use the same thing. Okay, so I have user. Okay, so so we have IP address also needs to be changed. So I have IP address here is 192.168.32.132. so you have Crackmapexec SMB, which is the protocol, the IP address -u, the user file, -p, the password file, and then we use this flag here dash continue on success, so that once if you have more than one result, it will continue to show you the results. So hit enter and let's see what it's going to give us. Alright, that's that. As you can see, all this negative or the red sign means no success there, but if you see a green sign, it means there's a success. So we have a user and the password. So user is the password, the username, and user is the password here. So we got one green, which is a success. If we scroll down again, I think we got one more. We got one more here, which is MSF admin and MSF admin, which actually we successfully used in logging in initially into the machine. So yeah, this works. Okay, so this is us using Crackmapexec to brute force for password using SMB. Okay, and yeah, that's that for that. Thank you guys for studying with me. Thank you guys for learning with me. I'll see you guys in another video. Ciao.